Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. As with any major seasonal update or reloaded update, we get plenty of new content day one, just like we did with season 3 reloaded a few days back. But also with every update, they add in new game files as well, sometimes for the new content, sometimes for future content. And of course, the data miners go in, they figure out what files have been added recently, and then things get leaked. We've seen weapons, we've seen operators, bundles, all sorts of stuff like that. Today we've got some very interesting leaks for a handful of reasons, and unfortunately people are going to see this initially and say, no way, this just leaked for Warzone 2, this is going to be a game changer, this is going to save the game. And then they're going to come to the realization that this might not be the leak that they think it is. With season 3 reloaded, according to Hey, I'm Alex over on Twitter, who has been data mining for Call of Duty for a bit now, we've got some new map hints in the game files, which is rather interesting considering we already have, a couple of new maps that have been leaked for some time coming to Warzone 2, and they definitely line up with some of the things that we already know about the state of COD right now, which is why some players might jump the gun and say, no way is this actually happening, when, I want to preface, definitely temper your expectations. But with the newest update, there are two new things updated in the game files according to Alex for season 4 and beyond, essentially. One of them is the Mazrah nighttime map. And this actually lines up perfectly with a leak that we had some time ago with the whole database breach leak. You might recall that with that, we basically got all the seasonal overview descriptions for all the remaining seasons. They listed season 2, season 3, season 4, and then technically they called it season 6, although this is really going to be season 5. Season 5 will be the end season for the MW2 content year, if you want to call it that. That'll bring us into the fall, where obviously we're going to have Call of Duty 2023 drop, and that'll obviously start a new cycle of seasons for that content year. But for season 4 and beyond, with that nighttime map, if you go and actually sort of, cross-reference and connect the dots of what the database breach leak said in season 5, which obviously would be happening in late summer, early fall, we are supposed to get a new event known as the Haunting of Saba. And if you're unaware, Saba is essentially the code name for Mazrah, right? And this would line up, when you look back at the past, Warzone 1, the Haunting of Verdansk, arguably the single greatest event in Warzone history, the best LTM in Warzone history, in my opinion, with Zombies Royale. I absolutely love that, but we had Verdansk at nighttime to celebrate Halloween and have all of that stuff going on. It was a really cool event. I absolutely loved it, as mentioned. So the Haunting of Saba, right away with that season 5/season 6 content, that event would definitely make sense. And considering that's now, just one seasonal update away, we'll have season 4, then we'll be into that. It would make sense that we're starting to see some files added in for this. So Mazrah nighttime is on the horizon, it would seem. And this is essentially just going to be, as the name implies, Mazrah with a completely different skybox, completely different lighting. It'll be under darkness, which is going to seriously change the game. You're obviously going to have to change your setups to have more effective sights. You might want to be using different perks. If there's going to be a lot of thermals out, cold-blooded could be pretty clutch. NVGs, as we've already seen thanks to Koshki Complex, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, there are NVGs in the loot pool that are sort of accidentally being found on Ashika Island or on Mazrah because they're added to the game for Koshki Complex. The devs said a bit ago that they had this whole non-daytime thing planned for DMZ and it wasn't going to be an LTM. We all thought that meant, okay, nighttime Mazrah DMZ is on the horizon, when in reality it ended up being Koshki Complex. But now that nighttime Mazrah is quite literally in the files, we know for a fact that'll be happening likely with the Haunting of Saba event. So we have a new haunting event on the horizon that'll surely impact Battle Royale, obviously, but also likely DMZ as well, since the maps are oftentimes sort of tethered together like what we're seeing already with the sandstorm on the map now. So that is the 1 out of 2 leaks here that does fully make sense, and it's sort of taken at face value, and it'll be accurate at that. Our second leak, though, has to do with Rebirth Island. Yes, I said the words. Rebirth has been found in the Warzone 2 and MW2 files. But there's a lot to talk about with this to temper those expectations, as I mentioned. Now, as we get into this part of the conversation, quick reminder, if you guys are new to the channel or if you have not already subscribed, Every day, I'm your one-stop shop for all things going on in COD. News, updates, leaks, rumors, loadouts, you name it, it's all going to be right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. And if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. It would be seriously appreciated, as it does really help grow the channel. Now, when it comes to Rebirth, in Alex's initial tweet here, he just simply says, on Mazrah nighttime in the files, maybe Rebirth Island. Now, most people are just going to see Rebirth Island and freak out and say, that's it, we've all been asking for Rebirth Island, they're going to bring it back. Here's the thing though. We obviously just got Ashika Island a couple of seasons ago. Really, it has not been in the game all that long by comparison. We also know that with Season 4 here, the main leak right now with all the data mine files and the database breach is that the Vandal map that takes place in the Netherlands is going to be our new Resurgence map. So that would then mean if Rebirth were to be coming to Warzone 2 here with these updated files, we just got Ashika Island. Next season, in just a couple of weeks time, we're going to be seeing Vandal release, and then just 2 months later, we're going to get another new map, Rebirth, or quote unquote new, right? Not necessarily what's making the most sense here. And quite frankly, what this is probably going to be relating to is Warzone Mobile, which is where the bad news comes in. A lot of players are going to see that Rebirth Island has been leaked in the Warzone 2 files and not realize that, yes, there are actually several things in game in the files that relate to Warzone Mobile. Verdansk, obviously, is the main Warzone Mobile map right now. I am jealous that they get to play on it and relive all that nostalgia, right? It would make sense a lot if Warzone Mobile was going to follow in the footsteps of original Warzone 1 and also introduce Rebirth Island as a Resurgence style map down the road. Pretty much everyone in the data mining community is sort of in agreement from what I've seen so far. Rebirth Island, despite being in the actual MW2 and Warzone 2 files, is very unlikely to actually come to this game. Now, obviously, Warzone Mobile is still in its full-on global launching stages. It's not fully available worldwide yet, so this probably won't be happening for some time as is, but it certainly makes more sense for it being there. And the reason, you might be wondering, why exactly are these in the game files for Warzone 2 and MW2 and DMZ if it's for mobile? And that's just simply because there are some connected parts of Warzone Mobile and standard Warzone 2 because of the cross progression and everything available there. Well, obviously, Warzone Mobile is an entirely separate game because you can connect things with Warzone 2 and MW2. There will be some crossover there and some things that end up bleeding over into one another. So you just get these awkward situations where it's like, you initially see this, you get super hyped because I know you guys, for one, I see the comments on a daily basis. Man, I wish they would bring back Rebirth. Rebirth could save this game. You finally see that in the files. You finally see the data miners and leakers talking about it, and it's for something you probably didn't realize it was actually meant for. So, bit of bad news there, but also some cool news with all Mazrah nighttime. I think that could be a cool experience. As we start to get any new official information on this, though, obviously as we get closer to the Haunting of Saba event or any other new map updates, you guys know I'm gonna have you covered with that stuff. So stick it here for that alongside everything else going on in COD. Make sure you are subscribed with those noties turned on. And if you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. With that being said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.